After working with over 250 niche, including some of the hardest ones to fulfill, I can confidently say that some of my biggest deals came from targeting the banking, fintech, and finance industries, just because these sectors operate in tight-knit networks, meaning landing one client can open multiple doors for unlimited high-value referrals. My name is Sal, and I've scaled my sales agency from $0 all the way to $80,000 a month in about 8 months, and I did this by building and selling sales systems purely in no-code tools like Make.com. But before running a 7-figure agency, I was making $15 an hour working as a nightclub bouncer. Then I discovered freelancing on Upwork, where I wasted months grinding for low-ball clients and competing with 50 plus proposals and people using the exact same tactics that I was using. Don't get me wrong, I was making like 1 to 2K a month, but it was definitely a race to the bottom. So the goal of this channel is to teach you how to use AI and automation the real way so you can build and sell high ROI sales systems from $2,000 all the way to $10,000 and basically build a profitable sales agency instead of relying on silly client acquisition methods, just like I did. This is going to help you break free from that constant anxiety about the future, that feeling of uncertainty that you get when you're unsure whether you're ever going to make it. Instead of scrambling for work, you can build a business that works for you. So here's the plan. First, I'm going to explain to you why these industries are some of the best niches you can target, especially as a sales agency. And then I'm going to show you exactly how you can get data of those decision makers so you can get on calls with them, basically close those high ticket deals. And then we're going to build the system together live. I'm also going to show you the exact copy that worked for me, but that's not all. I'm also going to show you how you can sell it, even if you're just starting out, and make your first sale. And at the end, I'm going to leave you the free blueprint and description like always. So without further ado, just go ahead and get started.
Okay, so why are we targeting the banking, fintech, and finance businesses? Well, to put it simply, just because they deal with money daily, they're used to investing in growth. These businesses are in highly competitive markets, meaning they need efficient client acquisition systems to stay ahead. They're also more willing to spend more on sales systems in my experience. And there's also something called high lifetime value of clients, meaning they retain customers for years. Think banks, investment firms, insurance providers, meaning the cost for acquiring one client for them is highly justified. This allows them to pay you more upfront for high quality lead generation systems, or in our case, our sales systems, making them ideal for a sales agency offering long-term outbound solutions. And it is also easier to fulfill because data is readily available, right? So data is extremely easy to get. You can easily find decision makers via LinkedIn, Apollo, Crunchbase, or industry directories. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can get this data. This means less trial and error, right? So the data is there, the personas are clear, and outreach can be highly optimized from day one, meaning you can fulfill easily. Another big aspect is one single deal can lead to referrals and bigger contracts with multiple other clients in the same industry, right? You can network with many companies that operate in associations or industry groups. One intro warm contact can open an entire network. So one successful campaign can turn into multiple high-value clients just from referrals alone. Okay, so now that you understand why we are targeting this industry, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get data and access to those decision makers. And the platform we're going to be using is going to be Crunchbase. Now, Crunchbase is an extremely straightforward platform to get leads from, but the main hurdle or the main issue with it is it's extremely expensive. In order for you to scrape just 500 leads, you need to be on their higher enterprise plan, which is not doable for most people. So what we do is we're going to go ahead and just scrape Crunchbase using another platform that's called Epify. And I'm going to walk you guys through step by step. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Crunchbase right now. And this is Crunchbase. This is basically their dashboard, right? And then the way I was able to get in here is I just went to Crunchbase and I just typed in Pro Plan free. So all you have to do is you're going to go to their Pro Plan, and then you're just going to have to sign up, and they're going to give you 7 days for free, where you can go ahead and scrape thousands of leads daily. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to advanced search, and we're going to start building our search where we're going to find those companies and those decision makers. So I'm going to click on advanced search, and I'm going to go to companies, and I'm going to start building my lead list. Okay. So we have a bunch of tabs here. The one that I want you to click on is going to be overview. And then in terms of employees, you're going to go to 1 to 10. And the reason why we're going to use 1 to 10, because we want to target startups because they're more likely to pay us just because they're investing in growth. They're just startups. They want to acquire more clients. They want to talk to people. They want to have more conversations. Okay. So make sure it's 1 to 10. And then in terms of industry, we're just going to type in finance. So financial services, finance, financial services, personal finance, financial services. And then I'm going to type in fintech. Great. And then I'm just going to type in again, banking. So I'm at 99,000 results. Okay. So I want to filter a little bit. I'm going to go to signals and then I'm going to go to, okay, before I go to signals, I'm going to go to, I think it's signal. Yeah, signals. And then I'm going to go to growing. So I want them to be growing. Great. So I'm at 1,900 results. So these are all companies that are growing in the fintech banking, right, industry, and they are also startups. So if you guys read through this, there's company type, non-profit, etc., etc. I want to look for company status and I want to be for profit. Okay, great. So for profit. So these companies are for profit. I have the full description, growth categories. That means they're growing. Industries. I have the founded date, headquarters. I also have the contact emails. I have the website description, funding status, and all of this we can use to basically have an extremely personalized outreach. Okay. I also have the founders, amazing, industry groups, etc., etc. Okay. Now, how can I get this data? Now, if I wanted to export this, I'm going to get this upgrade to Crunchbase Business. Now, this is extremely expensive, but I have a solution for you. The only thing you have to do is you're going to go to Apify. And basically, Apify is our best friend in this case, is a gold mine of scrapers where you can scrape Google Maps, Instagram. You can also build your own actor, scrape Amazon, scrape TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. And what I want you to do is you're just going to go to search actors and you're just going to type in Crunchbase, click search. And then the one that I want is going to be Ultimate Crunchbase Search Scraper. So this is the one by this guy, Curious Coder. And then I'm going to click on try for free. Okay. And basically all I have to do is I have to go back to my search and I'm just going to have to copy it, Control C, go back to my search or lead list and just paste that in here. In terms of cookies, do not be intimidated. I'm going to explain to you how to get your session cookies. So you only have to do is download an extension that's called Edit This Cookie. And then it's going to be in Chrome or whatever browser you're using. And you're just going to click on add and you're going to have it in your tabs right here in your extensions. Okay. Now I already have it. I'm just going to go back to my advanced search and I'm going to look for it, which is going to be edit this cookie. And then you're going to have to click on this extract right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth one, copy. So cookies copy to clipboard. Okay. Now I'm going to have to go delete everything here in this tab and just paste it in here. Okay. In terms of total numbers of records required, I can just go ahead and scrape the entire search right here, which is 1656, which is what I'm going to do. So 1656, I believe. Okay. And then in terms of custom proxy, I'm going to click on edit and I want to use special. Okay. Special is basically the best one. There's residential and special. So when you use these proxies, you're not going to get blocked. In terms of run options, make sure it's no timeout and click on start. And you're going to have to rent the actor for 1 day. Click rent actor. And then the only thing that you have to do now is click on save and start. Okay. And the actor is going to go ahead and log in on behalf of you because you basically fed in the session cookie. And basically your session cookie is just an ID, right? Think about it as like an ID of your account that your actor is going to use to log in on behalf of you and scrape data on behalf of you, right? So I hope this makes sense. So now the scraper is basically scraping data for us. The next step we're going to do is we're going to go to make.com. Now make.com is the glue, is basically everything that we need to build high ROI systems, and we can sell them from $2,000 all the way to $10,000. So I just signed up to my make.com account and I'm going to click on create a new scenario. So I'm going to start building the automation right now, the sales system. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this to scrape. So as you guys can see, system info still working. Please wait a minute for sure. And then we're going to go to new scenario and we're going to prepare our scenario. Okay, so the one that I want is going to be Apify. So click on this plus button. Let me do it again. I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to look for Apify. So click on API. And then the one that I wanted to use is going to be get data set items. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how to authenticate your connection. Okay. So you're going to have to go to settings, and then you're going to go to API integration, and then you're just going to have to copy your API key. Okay. So just copy it, go back to make, and then click on API, click on add, and just paste in your API token, which is going to be right here. So it's like a code. And then the connection name, you can name this whatever you want. We can just name this finance, banking, fintech, system, and then click save. Now you're going to get access to the data in API basically in Make, which is extremely powerful, okay? Just using API's API, okay? And if you're wondering what APIs are, it's basically how two apps talk to each other. So there's like the simplest way to explain it. So let's go back to our actors and let's see. So the run is actually running. We're getting the results. Just going to wait for this to come in. So the actor is getting our data. And then the next thing we want to do is we're going to click on save. Okay. We need to paste in the data set ID. Okay, that's for sure. So I'm just going to click on cancel. And then the only thing I'm going to have to do now, I'm just going to wait for the actor to finish. I'm going to get back to you. Okay, so the scraper is scraping. We have 1200 results. As you guys can see, if I go back to my inputs, you will see it's log. Scrape 50 records, and it's just basically taking all of that data from Crunchbase and just giving us a beautiful formatted data here, growing, last funding, etc. All the data that we have in Crunchbase. Okay, sweet. So now it's only took us like 6 minutes, as you guys can see, duration. So we started it at 10:29. It's 6 minutes. Oh, that's amazing. So we just finished it. So we can basically export our data just as CSV or Excel HTML table, right? You can have it basically as CSV and have it part of your deliverables. But the one that I want to do is going to be storage, right? I want to use their API. So I'm just going to go to storage and I'm going to copy this data set ID. Okay, copy. And now I can essentially access this data through Make, which is awesome. So I can go back to my dataset ID and essentially just click on dataset ID, okay? Data transformation is going to be clean. Format is JSON. In terms of limits, this is the numbers of records to actually return. So if I want to retrieve 100 records, I can just click on save and just leave that. But in my case, I just want to retrieve one so I can show you guys the data. We can work on it and then we can run the system end to end from the beginning. So I'm just going to click on save. And if I click on run once, I'm going to essentially get that data, which is name, which is optimism. If I go back, it's going to be optimism here. Okay. So now I'm going to have to click on this plus button. I'm going to look for a platform called Find the Email. Okay. So click on Find the Email and it's going to be find an email from a name and a domain. Okay. So the way I was able to find the email is just went ahead and signed up using a Gmail account. So I went to find the email, right? And I went ahead and just clicked on sign up basically. And they gave me a bunch of free credits that you get up front. Okay. So you're just going to have to sign up using a Google account. And then this is their dashboard. You're going to go to API, right? And you're going to name this API, for example, API key. And you're going to click on create. Now they're going to give you an API key that you can just copy. So copy, Control C, you go back to make, and then you can add this right here. And then let's just name this fintech banking system and then click save. So now I can basically use their API so I can find the email. So I'm just going to map in the email. So first of all, let me just re-get the data. So I'm just going to run this module only. And I got this data again. So again, I'm going to go back to full name and I'm going to look for founder. So founder. So this is the guy, Kevin Ho. And then the website is going to be website. And then I'm going to map it and click on save. And if I run once now, not enough credits. So it looks like I don't have credits. So it looks like I have to use my other account. Oh yeah. So fintech. And then click on run once. So there you go. Contacts, and we found the email. So we found the email, company, also the LinkedIn URL, the job title, company, city, etc. So this is an amazing API. I would highly recommend you guys use Find the Email. Okay. So now that we found the email, we can actually reach out to those people, but how can we do this at scale? So I'm going to walk you guys through how to do it. So the next thing you're going to have to do is click on this plus button. And then now we're going to basically get data, right? We're going to get that data from Amplify and we're going to feed it to an AI model that's going to generate a highly personalized one-on-one message. Okay. So click on Anthropic or OpenAI, whatever AI model you want to use. It could be Perplexity. It could be ChatGPT, OpenAI, Gemini, etc., etc. So I'm just going to use Anthropic Claude and click on create a prompt. Okay. So the one I want to use is going to be Sonnet 3.5. In terms of max tokens, I'm just going to use 3090 and then click on add message. The role is going to be user and the content is going to be type and is going to be text. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 7-figure prompt. And basically, this is a document where we have every single thing, positioning, clearing your offer, script building, market research, company name, formatter, job, title cleaner, recent achievement prompts. These are all prompts that I share with my community. We have basically everything for everything that are just basically plug and play. So the one that I want is going to be, this is the one. I think it's B. Yeah. Copy. And then I'm just going to paste my prompt right here, which is a create a one casual insider style congratulatory message. Basically, is going to be our initial part of the email. Okay. So I'm going to feed in data. So the data that I want is going to be data that I retrieved from my Amplify scrape. So I'm just going to open. It's going to be some JSON. So just copy and follow along. Hopefully you can see me. If not, let me just remove myself from here. And then I'm just going to return it back after I finish. So I'm going to add in the name, which is company name. And it's going to be the name of the company. I'm also going to add the description of the company, which is description, short. I think it's short description. Yeah, short description. Short description. And it's going to be short description. Okay. And then I'm going to also add other things such as, funding total. So funding total. And it's going to be, this is the funding total. And then I'm also going to add founded, or maybe let's add last funding. Yeah, last funding at, and it's going to be last funding at. And then we can also add other things. We can add I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's all we need to add. Funding total, etc. Okay, awesome. So we can just close this now. And then let's just see the outputs of Claude. So save. And before I actually do that, I'm going to add a filter here. So only, we're going to add a condition. So if the email is going to be found, because not every email is going to be found, obviously. So we're going to click on email equal to exists. So basic operator email exists and click save. Okay. And then I'm just going to run once. And then we have the filter. And then let's read through what Claude said. So, hey, we have an issue. We forgot to add the first name. Okay. So let's just add in the first name. So first name is going to be first name. And then since we only have, we do have the name here. So I can just map name. And then I want to get just the first name. So I'm going to use a split formula. So follow along, split based off a space. And then I'm going to get one. So get one, the one, which is one here. One. Okay. So split in the name based off a space. There is a space here. And then we're getting the first one. So this is one, this is two. Okay. Now I can add another and click save. And then click run once again. And let's see. Okay, great. So, hey, Jinglen, congrats on the 178 million raise for Optimism. Impressive timing given the market. Love how you're solving Ethereum scaling challenges while keeping decentralization at core. Been watching the L2 space closely and your growth trajectory is exactly why founders need rock-solid systems to manage the surge in enterprise interest. Now, this is what I mean by a high-quality personalization, right? So when someone or decision maker, this person right here, Jingling, is going to read through this, they're more likely to hop on a call with you. That's 100%, right? Like the likelihood of them replying to you is like 100% they're going to apply to you because nobody receives these emails. This is like extremely AI personalized and scary. So now that I validated the system work, I can essentially just show you guys the copy that worked. Okay. So the copy that worked, let me bring myself right here. And the copy that worked is essentially the one here in my visual. So we're going to go ahead and dissect it together. So we're going to have the personalized line that I showed you guys on top, right? And then we're going to have basically the copy right here. So I'm reaching out. Let me just add my pen right here. So I'm reaching out because I've been following several companies like yours and noticed that even with great technology, connecting with the right decision makers remains a challenge. So we're pressing their pain points, right? Basically, we're saying, hey, even though we know that companies in your industry like have a lot of money and they have great technology, it's still tough for them to acquire one client. I mean, the cost per acquisition for them to acquire a client is basically like 20, 30K depending on the deal size. And the second thing we're going to say is wanted to share an outbound system we've developed that's helping companies get more conversations with key decision makers without spending a cent on ads, right? So we're highlighting that we're using outbound and outbound systems. Let me know if this sounds interesting or a priority right now, and I can share more details. So this is a soft CTA, okay? So first we have a value prop intro. And then the second one is going to be transition to offer. And then we have a soft CTA. So no pressure, not pushy. Okay, so we're going to use this copy exactly. So let me just go ahead and copy this. Just Control C. And then I'm going to go to my make scenario. I'm going to click on this plus button and I'm going to use tools. So it's going to be tools, click on tools and look for set variable. Now we're going to start crafting our email that we're going to add essentially, the email that we're going to add to our instantly campaign. Okay. So I'm going to click on dream email and then I'm going to basically paste in my text right here. And then I'm going to paste in the second copy. And then I'm going to go back and again, Control C, Control V, and go back again. And then I'm going to add, thanks for the time. And then my name and my company name. Okay, now let's just save this and run once. There you go. So let's just read through this. Hey, Jinglin, wanted to say congrats on the 178 million raise for Optimism. Impressive timing given the market. The L2 scaling space is heating up and your focus on instant transactions is exactly what mainstream adoptions need. Would love to compare notes sometimes on how you're thinking about enterprise client acquisition. I'm reaching out because I've been following out several companies like yours and noticed that even with great technology, connect with the right decision makers remains a challenge. Wanted to share an outbound system we've developed that's helping companies get more conversations with key decision makers without spending a cent on ads. Let me know if this sounds interesting / a priority right now and I can share more details. So I can just add in a little line here and another line and it's going to be perfect. And now the only thing I have to do basically is going to be just adding this to my instantly campaign. So I'm going to click on this plus button and look for instantly and it's going to be add leads to a campaign. Okay. So I'm going to log into my Instantly account and then I'm going to go back to log in and then I'm just going to log in to my account, right? So Instantly is our cold email software. You're going to go to settings and there's going to be settings here. And you're going to go to integration, okay? And then go to API keys and look for version 1 depreciated and just copy your API key, go back to make and then click on add, just paste in your API key, okay? And click on save, okay? Now the only thing I have to do is create a new campaign. So I'm just going to go to campaign and it's going to be fintech, banking, / fintech, banking / finance. continue. Okay, now I can essentially add my leads. So if I go to leads, there's nothing here. Okay, so I'm gonna start mapping. So I'm just gonna refresh this, and it's gonna be my campaign. The leads email is gonna be obviously the leads email. The first name is gonna be the first name. So I'm just gonna split again using the same formula. So split based off a space, and then get the first one, and then again get the second one. So 2. Let me just go back, and there's going to be 2. Company name is going to be obviously the company name. Okay, so company name, Optimism right here. And then in terms of personalization, it's going to be our copy, dream email. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to save this, auto align this, and I'm just going to run once. Okay, so I added my lead here. So if I go to leads, okay, I got the person here. If I just add in the personalization variable, right, it's going to be my email here. Okay, hey Jinglin, etc. And amazing. So now in terms of subject line, I'm just going to use first name, and it's going to be, let's just use idea for outbound. Now this looks clean, okay? So amazing. Now I can send the test email to myself so I can show you guys. So let me just send this to myself. So you can see, so send test email, and then I'm gonna show you on my phone. There you go. So I just received the email. And then keep getting notifications of wins in the community. Congrats to Victor. First small win live. Okay, so here's the email that I received. Okay. Hey Jinglin, saw the massive Series B raise for Optimism. Impressive timing given the market layers whose scan is clearly hitting the stride. You're positioned perfectly. So this is what I mean by a good email. Okay. So there you go, guys. The only thing you have to do now is basically go back to your make scenario. And then now instead of running through this into one, just leave that empty and click save. Okay. And then this is going to be fintech, banking slash finance industry sales system, and click save. Okay. And then I'm going to export this and add it into the resource and description. Okay, now how can we actually sell this system? Okay, now let me explain to you guys how to position yourself so you can sell this. Okay, so let me go back here. So how can you actually sell the system? So the step 1 would be using this system to get booked meetings with decision makers, just like I showed you in this video. Then you're going to get your lead list ready, your offer, copy. You can use mine and add your little color, right? The one that we used in this video. So once you get a meeting, present the system as a solution, meaning during the onboarding call. So during the onboarding call, you're going to present the system as a solution that delivers high quality leads, right? Book meetings for them. So your pricing needs to reflect the value, right? So in terms of meetings and qualified leads, you can also highlight that it was the exact system that got them into a meeting with you from the first place. So this is what I do, guys. Whenever I'm pitching my service here, pitching my sales system, I say, hey, I actually got into the meeting with you using this exact same system. So you can essentially do the same. I can present it and say, hey, you can get onto meetings with pre-qualified decision makers that are interested in your current offer and are more likely to buy from you. And essentially you can close them pretty easily when you say this. Okay. Now, how much should you charge? So you should charge probably from $2,000 all the way to $5,000. I'm just giving you a non-round number because it doesn't show like you just pulled that out of your ass. If you put in $2,000 or $5,000, they're going to be like, well, this guy just randomly just guessed this. So the initial front setup fee is going to be 50% deposit. So they're going to pay you 50% up front. So you're going to set up everything, build a lead list, integrating all the tools, Crunchbase, Apify, Make.com. Basically, you're just going to upload this template of this blueprint, and then you're going to call it a day. So now that the system is set up for them, you deliver the key result, which is the actual booked meetings. offer this outcome of your service, okay? And then basically during the kickoff call, we're going to discuss their ICP, their ideal customer. They're going to give you all of this, and then you can essentially just start delivering, okay? Using this exact same methods that I show you here, okay? And then in terms of your deliverables, you're going to say, hey, your campaign will operate from Monday to Friday, to Saturday, actually. Yeah, from Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You also get a ClickUp dashboard that auto-populates with interested leads. And if you guys don't know how to do this, just look through my channel. You're going to see that I show you guys how to do this, and a Slack integration that provides notifications upon a new positive leads. So these are all bonuses you can front load, and it's called value stacking. And it's essentially is going to help you close those deals easily. Okay. So a Slack notification that provides notifications. So whenever there's an interested lead and instantly, they can essentially just receive a text message that's, okay, this person is actually interested. And this happens during the onboarding call, where you get a clear picture of their ICP and expectations. So the first phase, you're guaranteeing at least 5 booked meetings with decision makers from their ICP.
Okay, so hopefully you found value in this video. I'm going to leave all the resources you're going to need in the description, including the free blueprint. Check out Sales Systems Mastery if you want to get your first customer in just a few weeks. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.